Welcome back to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba.
And I'm Irving Price.
All right, we're speaking with Hamilton Chang, CEO, Ballparks of America, ballparksofamerica.com. All right, Hamilton, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
All right, my pleasure. We were talking about the accommodations for the players in the park, and one of the things that I've noticed is you've got plans on expanding, and you're bringing other things to the center beyond what people normally think about as a destination resort baseball park. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. So when we purchased the buildings and the already constructed retail spaces, the plan was always to expand into a family entertainment center. Right. So much of what we do nowadays, the old the art museums or the science and industry museums and whatnot, those are great. Those are what our generation grew up with. There's so much more now with indoor climbing walls and indoor electric go-kart tracks and experience economy things that are more based on families getting together and racing each other or climbing up walls against each other, more so than just looking and not touching. So we have an additional 200,000 square feet where, quite honestly, we're looking for partners right now. We're looking for real estate development partners, family entertainment development partners, or sports companies to come in. We've done a great job, we believe, this year in getting teams from Japan, Korea, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, all coming into the heart of the United States in Branson, Missouri. Right, this is apple pie America and whatnot. We've had teams from, we hosted the Cal Ripken Major 70 12U World Championship World Series here this year. We hosted the Youth Baseball Network National Championship, which included the national champions of CABA, AAU, AABC, NABF, Dixie, among others. So, we feel like we've done a good job of developing the baseball business, and we are the anchor tenant. But now it's our next phase is to go and build the experience for these families and these kids. We want to be Disney-like in that, each child who checks in as a player and each coach who checks in as a player, every single one of them are already led into the facility and led into the dormitories, the team suites with an RFID chip. Next year, our plan is that RFID chip or that bracelet will be sponsored by somebody, and then also we'll be giving them access to pizza. If they don't feel like our hamburger bar for lunch wasn't what they wanted that day, they can go get a slice of pizza in our pizzeria. They can go and they can do an indoor go-kart ride, or they can go and do a laser tag or a virtual reality experience on campus with that same wristband.
You have a lot of background in the investment world, and you've had to make a financial decision of going with a family entertainment center instead of a shopping mall. So walk that out for the potential investors that are out there listening to this and thinking about this is a different type of investment, but it's put together by a banker. So he had to have a banking thought process aside from the idealistic side of it, wanting to do something that's good for people.
Yeah, we hope, we hope you can hear in my voice what our principals and those of us who've invested in this project. Mm-hmm. It is so much about family. It's so much about that family experience. Two of my kids are already off to college. Two more soon off to college. We're going to remember that car ride. We're going to remember, that bee that got into the minivan as we were driving to wherever. Those are the things that I think will stay with us. Probably, I would argue a lot longer than, hey, we went here to shop or we went to this museum or whatnot. So the decision to go, we're not going away from retail per se, but we're basically arguing that with 8.8 million visitors already coming to Branson, Missouri, plus our baseball families and what these baseball families represent, which is that experience, which is the family getting together and piling into the SUV or the minivan, is that we want to be able to address both of those marketplaces with the best use of the space that we have. We will have retail, but the retail is the complementary piece. There's already the nation's busiest Tanger outlet mall, so any parents who come down here, they'll have 150 yards, maybe 200 yards across our street, and they will be at the nation's busiest Tanger outlet mall already.
Hamilton, just to jump in there, because we're running out of time. Your business model from the very beginning is unlike many I've seen because you actually encompass a charitable aspect to your business as part of the model with the Wounded Warrior Amputee softball team. Tell us more about that and how you wrap that into your business.
Interestingly enough, in our first business plan, our first cut of the business plan, we actually talked about building some percentage of what we make into a charitable donation. And we actually pulled it out because we didn't want to preclude other people who maybe didn't have the same bent that we did. But nonetheless, now that we're up and operational, we're hosting the Wounded Warrior Amputee softball team. They are veterans who served our country and made great sacrifice. Oftentimes, right, these guys who've lost limbs with IEDs or landmines or something like that. And they come back through their rehabilitation process, and somewhere along the way, they make the decision that they're going to continue to serve us. And what they do is they host kids from around the country who have lost limbs, amputee kids who've either been born without limbs or lost limbs. And we wanted to be part of that. We wanted to support these soldiers who are still serving the country by really inspiring kids who, out of a school of 200 kids or 80 kids or 300 kids, probably don't have another kid in their area who have lost a limb. So to meet people who play softball, who play sports, who do one-handed push-ups and serve their country and be motivated and inspired by these soldiers, we think it's really important for not just these kids, but for our society. That there's good to be spread in our society.
But that's
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's near and dear to my heart. Jim Abbott, world famous pitcher, no-hitter with the Yankees. As a baseball icon, Jim and I have been playing sports against each other and with each other for 40 years. And that's absolutely blessed that our first event here, I reached out to him, and he's actually our honorary chair for the event. He saw that both the service to the country and inspiring these kids who've lost limbs, that's sort of near and dear to his heart, too. So we're absolutely blessed that Jim Abbott came on as our honorary chair for the event.
Hamilton, we're going to need to close out for now, but I want to thank you so much for coming on to our show.
It was my pleasure. I appreciate you helping to spread the word about Ballparks of America.
We'll do what we can. Hamilton Chang, CEO, Ballparks of America, ballparksofamerica.com. You've been listening to Michael Yorba
and Mervyn Price
on CEO Money. Thank you for listening. We'll be right back tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to CEO Money. If you would like to be a guest on our show or know someone who should be on our show, please contact us at info@wfn1.com or our website, wfn1.com. If you would like to reach any of our guests, please visit us at wfn1.com. Join us on Twitter at WFN Live or our Facebook page at WFN Live. We will be back tomorrow with more great interviews and ahead-of-the-curve information you just can't get anywhere else.
CEO Money is sponsored by WF News 1 Incorporated. Views and opinions heard on CEO Money are not necessarily the opinion of this station or its management. Material on this program is intended for general information only and should not be taken as specific investment, tax, or legal advice.